Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth their time and bandwidth.
Today's game is Mass Effect 2. BioWare's biggest sequel at the time, Mass Effect 2 is often considered the best in the series. But does it hold up? Let's find out. Mass Effect 2 is a 2010 third-person shooter with light RPG elements and an emphasis on its characters and story, and also feels like BioWare's true dive into attempting to make AAA-type games. It starts with a bang, with the Normandy from the first game blowing up and your Shepard killed. Or was he/her? The villainous human supremacist organization Cerberus resurrects Shepard to enlist them to find out what's happening to human colonies being wiped out of existence. Turns out an alien species called the Collector is working with the Reapers for nefarious purposes, so Shepard needs to recruit a team of galactic oddballs for a suicide mission to the Collector's base. It's a great premise and allows the series to leave its idealistic Star Trek roots for a more seedy underbelly of society. It also has a much greater focus on its characters and their connections to the world, while the overall plot takes somewhat a back seat. Gameplay's been improved in nearly every capacity. The third-person shooting is now more in line with Gears of War, with a focus on cover-based tactics, and powers have been changed to all share a cooldown, but more can be mapped to quick casts, 3 for you and 2 for your buddies. Speaking of your squad mates, they only have 4 powers each rather than the bazillion from the first game, but not only do they actually use their powers without you telling them, this limitation actually allows for more strategy around party composition, as you want to fill weaknesses based on scenario, which you will need as the game now has specific armor or shield types that require specific abilities to respond to them, such as fire burning off armor. RPG elements have also been trimmed down. Levels are mission based, which means you get a set amount of XP regardless of enemies killed, with less skills to invest points in. Gear is also significantly reduced, with only a few guns per class, and upgrades apply to all guns of a type, no customization. You upgrade guns by finding blueprints and then probing plans for resources, as you now actually drive around the universe rather than just warp. The heart of Mass Effect is still being able to play as Paragon or Renegade, and 2 does an excellent job differentiating these two compared to Game 1. Some of the Renegade options are downright hilarious in how mean you can be, and the game's new ability to interrupt people with a nice or mean reaction spices up combos. And that's Mass Effect 2, a streamlined version of the original game, taking the ideas that worked and enhancing them and cutting a lot of the fat. So what do I like about Mass Effect 2? Well, the side stories are the real best bits here. While the main plot of the Collectors is interesting, it's surprisingly short when compared to recruiting and befriending crewmates, all of which are fascinating and have some really great character development. Additionally, this game has considerably more story beats you feel like you make an impact in than Game 1. This is further emphasized by the very large number of Renegade/Paragon dialogue checks that allow you to frame conversations. And lastly, combat has been significantly improved. While it's still a bit jank, the new power system and squad combos are excellent, the shooting punchier, and overall just a slicker experience. When it comes to the bad, the RPG elements, be it character customization, gear management, etc., have been stripped down significantly from the previous game and suffers from the linear combat hallways issue of games of the era. While exploring cities and the hub areas are fantastic, the corridor shooting gets a little samey. Additionally, probing plans gets really tedious really fast, especially since you want to find all that great side content you're going to need to check out pretty much every one. This is paired with the grind of an upgrade system for weapons that just feels like it's wasting your time. And lastly, this might be a hot take, but I was disappointed with both A, the stronger focus on humans rather than the other races, and B, the complete lack of political interaction that framed Game 1. 2 and 3 had different writers than 1, and it shows, as the first game is a mix of both doomsday threat and government bureaucracy to navigate. 2 removes the bureaucracy, and having less interactions with the larger galactic institutions eliminates some wider context. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, may consider, and don't bother, and Mass Effect 2 marks a big change in BioWare, where they went from a scrappy but beloved maker of complex RPGs to a AAA game company with big ambitions, and for the most part, they completely nailed it. It's bigger, has more compelling characters, streamlines and improves combat, and expands the universe in meaningful ways. It's a fantastic follow-up to the first game, holds up incredibly well, and is absolutely worth playing if you enjoy sci-fi in any capacity. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Mass Effect 2 recently, is your favorite in the series? Let me know what you think in the comments, but regardless, go out there and make sure you give it a play.